Hi and welcome back. Okay, I've received a few more parts from Schneider's, one in particular that I actually have been waiting for, and that's a new brass filler neck for the radiator. The original filler neck, I believe, is actually cross-threaded, probably through my own stupidity, or possibly just nominally wear and tear over the years of incorrectly removing this radiator cap perhaps. But just on that, there's a small hole at the back of that which has an Allen key. So once this radiator cap is orientated in the forward facing position for the bird, I would suggest that that Allen key then screws in, so then the base of this doesn't turn anymore, because it doesn't need to come off during radiator fills. The bird just simply tilts off and has another locking mechanism inside this part of the cap, and then it just screws back on, just twists back on like that. So it's quite inventive, I think, if you think about that for its time. Obviously there's a few washers to go in here and rubber things to make it a lot more tighter and basically not coming off or just vibrating off. It's quite smart for its time, I'm guessing. So that radiator cap is brass, so I'm going to remove the radiator, take it to a guy that I've met here in Queensland to sweat the old one off and put the new one back on. So it just involved of taking the radiator off, so we'll just quickly go through what's involved. So this will be just sweated off at this point. Now I think what's involved is just two simple, I think they're about 3/8. These two will just lift up. The radiator then will be loose at the top. I'm not sure how these work, but it looks like they might be either a pin or what they are, but I'll start off by taking the two top ones off first, see if it then becomes loose. I'm going to have to drain the liquid out of the radiator. I've got like a bucket type of arrangement down there, which I use for my oil as well, or will be using for the oil. It's only a new bucket I've got. There's no drain inside this pipe. I think a lot of the later ones had a drain underneath. I might, as part of this build process, get a small tap put into there and drain it, should it be required. I don't even think if new car radiators have that sort of arrangement in them. But anyway, there it is. So it'll just be a couple of hoses off here, or that hose off there, this hose off there to get to this black solid piece. The hose off there, those two little tubey things, and the radiator should come off. So let me get stuck into that and I'll come back to you shortly. Okay, I've got that radiator out. There's quite a lot of gunk, which is to be expected, in the bottom sitting there. That's pretty rusty as. That's the water return pipe from the engine. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a flush out. At least the radiator's out now, and it can go down for its neck repair. Model A without a radiator. Come back to you shortly. Well, it's probably about the best I'm going to get it for the moment. I'll get it repaired first and then give it another really good flush out after that. A lot of rusty water there, but as I said, it is to be expected. Okay, I've cleaned all this out as best I can. It seems to be hardly any rust left in it. Now, I have noticed that this return pipe doesn't have a petcock in it, so I'm going to either look at replacing this or drilling one in, if I can work out whether I can actually get the actual threaded part for the underside of it as well. So I believe there's a petcock, I think it's called, shut off valve for there, or draining valve, and it has probably a little threaded rod, a threaded nut that welds onto this pipe. So I'll do some inquiries on that, but there you have it, cleaned out, plugged up, shipped the radiator now off to the welder guy that can do the new neck for me, and we should be good as new to put back on, ready for its first start. Come back to you shortly. Okay, I'm going to drop off the radiator this afternoon so its filler neck can be repaired. I've done some research on this pipe, and as much as I'd like to think it's an original, it's not. It does appear to be bent into a shape that probably represents the original, but without the petcock in it. I believe it's just been replaced. Perhaps the first one was damaged or something like that, and it probably explains a little bit why the replacement radiator hoses were quite sort of looked like they'd been stretched out of shape. So I have bitten the bullet and I've been on to Schneider's, so I've ordered new radiator hoses, new authentic style clamps for each of the hoses. So there's 1, 2, 3 hoses, one at the top of the filler neck, one coming into the bottom of the radiator of the return pipe, and one from the engine block into this. So 3 hoses, 1 new pipe with a petcock thread, NPT thread I think it is. I ended up buying the original style petcock. It just, I might as well try to make it look as original as possible, I guess. And I bought the original style hose clamps. So ordered that now. That'll be here in about a week's time. By that time the radiator will be repaired. Oh sorry, one other thing that I bought. I also bought some new radiator, these are all deteriorated, radiator mounting pads, and as much as these that hold the radiator on were the authentic ones, they look like they're all cross-threaded, and they're just, I can't even move that, so it's just time to replace them, I guess. So that's what's happening. I'll close this one off now. Hopefully we can start to put this car back together on the next installment. Come back to you shortly.